What is a plus-sized tummy tuck? How much does it cost? Do you have to go to a special doctor? What does my stomach look like now? We are gonna get into all of those questions and more. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for the long-awaited update on my mommy makeover tummy tuck situation. I know that you guys have been asking for this video pretty much since I posted my consult video. If you've not seen that video, I'll link it below. It is my full consult, essentially. I took you guys into the room with me and let you hear everything that the doctor had to say about my possible, at that time, mommy makeover surgery. So if you've not watched that, I recommend watching this one first. But after that video, you guys left me a ton of questions. I know I left a ton of stuff unanswered about just the logistics of things and what a plus size tummy tuck really is. And so I'm gonna answer all those questions for you guys today. I wanted to wait until I had a surgery date, until I had a pre-op visit, all of those things so that I could give you guys the most accurate answers as possible. So I literally have all of these notes that Finley scribbled on so that I didn't forget anything. Let's go ahead and get started. I, of course, am going to show you my before stomach in this video because the next video you guys see will actually be my surgery date. So the first thing that I have written down is what am I having done, why, and when. So I have decided to have a full tummy tuck with muscle repair to undo all of the muscle separation that happened when I was pregnant. And then I also am having some liposuction of the flanks. If you watched the consult video, then you guys know that I discussed possibly doing a breast lift and a little bit of lipo on the side of my breasts here. That alone doubled the cost. And we're gonna get into all of that later when I talk about the specific costs. I'm gonna give you guys real numbers. But to me, it just wasn't worth it for what I was wanting to achieve. So we did just go with the full tummy tuck, muscle repair, and then some liposuction on the flanks, which is like your sides right there. So let's talk about a plus size tummy tuck for a moment. What is it and what makes it different than a normal, quote unquote, normal tummy tuck? So essentially a plus sized tummy tuck is a tummy tuck that is done on somebody that has a BMI of over 30. Now, I've gotten some questions about, do you have to go to a specific doctor, that sort of thing. And I mean, the easy answer is yes, you do. You have to find a doctor that is going to accept a higher BMI because there are a lot of doctors, unfortunately, who still believe that BMI is the be all end all of health. And that just isn't true. It's just not true. You can, I can go to the doctor today next to a 115-pound woman. We have the same blood work done and my blood work be astronomically better than hers or the same as hers, or, your weight is no indication of your current health. Can it be an indication of your health later in life? Yes, it is a predisposition to things. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying of your current health and what they would be operating on at this time, your weight is not a be all end all to your health. So there are several doctors who, however, they still believe that. So they will not perform the surgery if you have a BMI higher than 30. There is a really, really good Instagram page or Instagram person account that I am going to link below for you guys. Her name is Plus Size Plastics and she is awesome. She has had a ton of stuff done and not only does she look phenomenal, but she also has compiled a list of doctors around the United States that do not have a BMI limit. So they will operate on you no matter what your BMI. That's a little drastic, I think, but there is several doctors. I mean, this list probably has 100 physicians on it that will operate. I have not posted that specific list just because I feel like it was her work. She put all the time to find all those doctors. So I'm just going to direct you to her page, but also just go look at her page because her before and afters are amazing. Like this girl, she's had like chin lipo, tummy tuck, Brazilian butt lift. Like she's had it all. So definitely go check her channel out. Also, there is a page called RealSelf, or it's a website where you can actually go on and research specific doctors in your area. You can get reviews of doctors in your area, and this would be good, you know, whether or not you're plus size, because it's not just limited to plus physicians that operate on plus sized women or men, but you can go and get reviews and pictures on several different doctors in your area or plastic surgeons in your area on one website versus trying to, you know, search around and source out things. I found that website extremely helpful because doctors charge consult fees. You could pay anywhere from $100 up to $500 just to go see them and talk to them about them possibly doing a surgery on you. And I understand the point. Their time is valuable, and they want to be compensated in some way for their time versus if you didn't decide to have surgery with them. However, that can be really expensive if you're going around to several different doctor's offices looking for consult advice and all of that. And RealSelf really helped me narrow it down for my specific surgeon before I chose one. I only ended up going to one consult. Now, I did already know the practice and know of them and know some of their work, so that is definitely was already on my side. But I did use RealSelf, and I looked my doctor is a female. I looked her up, etc. So I will link that website below as well. I found it very, very helpful. I would highly recommend, if you're considering getting a plus size tummy tuck, going and looking at before and afters. You can literally do that with a simple Google search, so that you can get an idea. What I did was I Google searched it initially, and I found several women that matched my body type, or what I thought was my body, or what is my body type. And so I would look at their before and afters to kind of get an idea of what I can expect for my results. So, does my doctor have a BMI limit? She does. And the reason I'm telling you this is because this is something you might come across. So my doctor is not one that will operate on you, no matter what your BMI. However, she is a doctor who will operate up to a BMI of 35. Over 35, depending on your height and everything, you get into the more of like morbidly obese category versus just obese, I guess. And it becomes, I guess, more dangerous the higher your BMI goes. So my doctor cuts it off at 35. I literally had to sign a paper saying that I knew that if I crossed over that threshold of my BMI, over 35, that she reserved the right to cancel the surgery and not refund me my money. So I wanted to mention that because that is a big thing. I could literally gain like 20 to 30 pounds before that would happen. But, and in a month's time, that would be a little bit difficult, but she does have that stipulation. So you're either going to run into doctors who have, no rules about it at all. And they're just like, let's do it. We want to make you, what you want to be and your most beautiful self to you. Or you have doctors who are like, we'll do it, but we have limitations on what we will do. So definitely research your area on RealSelf, look on that list on Plus Size Plastics website, and figure out what direction you want to go in. I know I mentioned, now I can't remember her name. I mentioned her in my last video, but she's having a plus size tummy tuck done. It's going to drive me insane, but she is actually going out of state from where she lives to have hers done. So, it's whatever you feel comfortable with doing, but definitely do your research before you go to the consult, because things are a little bit different than a traditional tummy tuck. So we're going to talk about recovery time. I've gotten this question a lot as well. Is the recovery time different for somebody who is plus size versus somebody who is not plus size? And that answer is no. I asked my doctor specifically today in the pre-op, am I going to have a more difficult or a different recovery because of my weight versus somebody who is a more quote unquote normal weight? And she said, no. The way you recover is all about your genetics, all about you following directions. That's like the absolute biggest thing. And all about you like hydrating yourself and following your medicinal routine, all of that sort of thing. Your weight is not necessarily going to affect how you recover, but like your family history could affect how you would recover, if that makes sense. So you're not gonna recover any differently, at least from the research I've done and the doctors that I've spoken to, you're not gonna recover any differently than somebody who is of a, again, quote unquote, normal weight. So essentially what she said was that the first week will be rough. She said that I'm going to hate my life and all my life's decisions for that first week. And then about day 5 or 6, I will, take my belly band off and be like, oh, that's why I did this. So the first several days are the worst, and then it gradually gets better, which I think is literally the truth in every surgery that you could have ever. So the pain doesn't necessarily scare me. I've had 3 children with 2 failed epidurals, so I don't necessarily have a fear of pain. So I think that I will be a-okay, but you should recover the same way that you would with if you were a normal weight. You do have to wear a belly band after. Again, you can literally Google this and come up with the, basic recovery and guidelines and all of that for a tummy tuck, but you wear from what my surgeon told me, you wear the surgical belly binder for the first 3 weeks. And then after that, you switch to one that is essentially what she said is more comfortable for you. I am currently researching ones that I am going to give a shot. You can literally buy them on Amazon. So I'm just kind of doing research and reading reviews and all of that. I don't necessarily need it for a little while because I don't need it until 3 weeks after surgery. So now we're going to talk about the cost and my before stomach and all of that. So another big question that I got in relation to plus size tummy tucks versus non plus size tummy tucks is the cost. Is there a cost difference? So I'm going to tell you my real numbers, and I know that some people aren't comfortable with it, whatever. But I'm going to share that with you. So my initial quote that I got that included the breast lift, the liposuction on the side, and then the full tummy tuck with lipo of the flanks and muscle repair was $21,000. Now, can you get that cheaper? 100% yes. Do you want to go cheaper? And it's up to you. There are definitely surgeons out there who will do it for cheaper. You can go somewhere like Miami. My neighbor actually just went to Miami and got a breast lift and a full stomach tummy tuck for $8,500. That's less than half of what I was going to pay for that same exact surgery. And she had to go back 2 weeks later because she had issues and had to have another surgery. So, can you get it cheaper? Probably. Now, I saw that price quote and I threw up in my mouth a little bit because that's a lot of money. That's a big investment. That is a car, and for me personally, like I mentioned earlier, the breast lift I'm trying to get comfortable. The breast lift wasn't necessarily something that I really wanted. It was more so something that, while you're in there, if it's not going to add on a ton of money, go ahead and do it. It literally more than doubled the cost. So my tummy tuck by itself, what I paid is $10,609. And that was just for the tummy tuck, the lipo, and the muscle repair. The biggest difference in that is, the main biggest difference is that I'm not going to have to stay in the hospital. If I was adding on the breast stuff, it would have pushed. She has like a 3-hour limit of what she likes to do in the office. They have like a full anesthesia and everything, surgical center in their practice. And she does not like to go over 3 hours of you asleep in the office. She wants you to be in a hospital setting. So That pushed it over, which significantly raised the cost. Not only that, they were gonna make me stay overnight in the hospital, which again, significantly increased the cost. So Chris and I decided to hold off on, the breast stuff for now. And if that's something that I want to go back and do later, I can do that. And it would be way cheaper because I could then go do the breast stuff in the office as well and not pay the hospital cost, because the hospital, again, blew the cost out of the water. And I was not willing to pay $21,000 for, an extra $10,000, $11,000 for something that I didn't really, wasn't the main point and didn't really want or need, if that makes sense. So does a regular tummy tuck cost less? No, it just doesn't. I think that if you went to a super fancy doctor who works on, celebrities and that sort of thing, then you might end up paying more. Or, there are specific doctors out there that you can find on that list from Plus Size Plastics that only do plus size plastic surgery. And so they probably are more expensive, but they are also skilled in that one thing. And that's their only focus and the only thing they do, and they do it day in and day out. And so not that they're better than the surgeon I chose, but just that's their specialty. And so their fees might be a little bit higher. But if you go to a regular doctor that does both, you're going to be charged the same as somebody who is of normal weight. And I know this for sure because I have a friend that actually got a tummy tuck from this same practice very recently, and her cost was very comparable to mine. She did not have lipo of the flanks, so it was a little bit less for her, but that's the only difference, is that the lipo wasn't on her quote and it was on mine. So you're not gonna pay more unless you go to a doctor that is specializing in plus size plastic surgery, which again, there are some of those. So yeah, I think that I've answered everything. I know what people mainly wanted to know is how much it costs. Oh, how long will I be out of work? So 2 weeks is what she said. So pretty much from what I understand, we sort of planned it so that Chris is home the first week, and then my mom will come every day the second week, mainly to help me with Finley. Because if you saw my other video, then you know that she's giving me a bit of a time right now. But the doctor was fine with that. She said after those 2 weeks, I should be able to resume most normal activity unless I, had a job where I was lifting a lot all the time. She said most people, go back to work after 2 weeks is what she said. So that's sort of what I'm planning on as far as just resuming normal life goes. But we'll see how everything goes. The other major thing that a couple of people asked me about was swimming, because it is about to be summer. How long will I have to stay out of the water if you chose to do something like this during the season of swimming? I asked her today, again, because my pre-op was today, and she said most people can get into a pool in 3 weeks. The ocean and stuff that has higher levels of bacteria, longer. So we are actually going to the beach literally 3 weeks after my surgery. And so she is gonna see me the day before to let me know if I can go into the pool or not. Now, the two things you've all been waiting for: when is my surgery and what does my stomach look like now? So my surgery today is May the 2nd. It is Tuesday, May 2nd. And my surgery is scheduled for Monday, May 16th. So I have less than 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday until my surgery. I am so excited. I am so ready, especially after that pre-op today. I am just so ready to just do this. I just want to do it. I can't wait. I keep looking in the mirror and thinking this will all be gone soon. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to show you what my stomach is looking like right now. Obviously, my stomach is bad because I'm paying $10,000 to get it fixed. So, here's your warning. I have a lot of stuff going on down there that you're about to see, but I want to document what my before looks like so that as we go along the journey of my during and after, you guys will, kind of know the whole story and what the results look like. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you what my before stomach looks like, and then the next time we make a video about tummy tucks will be the day of my surgery, and I cannot wait. So let's go ahead and look at my stomach. Okay, so I'm literally in pajama pants because it's 9 o'clock at night, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you, and I'm super nervous about this. So again, I actually might need to lower this down just a tad, but I'm super nervous about this. So, you know, be gentle on my stomach. So this, I have a ton, we'll just start here. I have a ton of stretch marks on my stomach, as you can see, so many stretch marks. And then this is the overhang that I currently have. So it starts here and then it goes all the way across and around to that side. So I have, you know, this is all extra like skin and fat, of course, and it's all going to be gone. Essentially, she said that they will cut, you know, under here and then up, and then all of this. So like all of this will be cut off, and then this skin will be stretched down to, you know, make my new stomach. They'll make a new belly button. So all of these stretch marks will be gone. I have several stretch marks under from having babies. Those will all be gone. And then like all of this will get gone with the skin. And then they're doing some lipo here on both sides to sort of contour and shape. So that is what I'm looking like now. Again, I'm very nervous about showing this, but you know, can't possibly show my tummy tuck journey and not show my stomach. So that's what we're working with right now. And yeah, I am so excited to have this done. I can't even tell you, like, I struggle so much with finding clothes that fit, just because of all the extra skin down there, and my legs are like smaller than my you know, hip area. So I have to buy clothes that fit funny. Like, you guys have no idea how much I feel like this is going to change my life. And I know that sounds silly, but it is. It's going to change my life. So I appreciate you guys all coming along on this journey with me. And I will see you on May 17th, probably, after I, you know, film the video. And you guys know how it went. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for being so supportive. And I will see you very, very soon. Have a great night, guys. Bye.